Hello everybody and welcome to our TA session. Today we're going to be teaching everybody about the effects of tobacco and nicotine. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves. My name is Blake Koether and this is my first year being a Texas Say What Teen Ambassador. I go to school at Sinton High School in Sinton, Texas, and I participate in FFA, debate, and tennis. Hopefully, I'll be a 2027 graduate at the University of Texas A&M College Station. You can go ahead and follow my Instagram and Snapchat that's on the screen.
Hey guys, I'm a first year teen ambassador for Say What. I'm a senior at Harlingen School of Health Professions, and a fun fact about me is that I'm also in nursing school at the same time. I'm 17 and I absolutely love Baylor University, sick 'em Bears, and I also have my social media link down below if you guys want to take a few seconds to add me. What are some immediate health effects that nicotine and tobacco both cause? You might ask me this, and I will tell you, with the first puff of a cigarette, harmful chemicals enter a person's lungs and enter a person's bloodstream, affecting almost every organ in the human body immediately. Now, you guys might not think this is a big deal, but even smoking one cigarette every once in a while can be very harmful to your body, especially youth, as this can stunt your lungs and also alter the development of your brain.
Oh yeah! Ooh yeah! Ooh whoa! So cheesy! Dude, something wrong with your pizza?
What's the point? It's just gonna disappear into the abyss.
After watching that video, you guys can see some of the many effects that smoking has on your mouth. Smoking can dull taste and make food less palatable. Imagine not being able to absorb and taste that delicious Chick-fil-A sandwich with that delicious Chick-fil-A sauce. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I could never do that. Smoking not only affects the shape of your taste buds, but also affects vascularization, which is the formation of blood vessels in your mouth. Smokers are proven to have flatter taste buds than taste buds of a non-smoker. Moving on to how smoking affects eyesight. Smokers increase their risk for developing cataracts by smoking compared to a non-smoker. In fact, smokers double their chance of forming cataracts, and the risk continues to grow every time the smoker continues to smoke. Cataracts, which is clouding of the eye's natural lens, are the leading cause of blindness in the world today. Smoking can also lead to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD, which causes blind spots in the central vision. This also affects the center of the retina, which is responsible for sharp and central vision that can be used in everyday tasks such as reading and driving.
Thank you so much, Jeniah, for explaining some of the health effects that come with smoking. But wait, there's more. A smoker also has worse skin. As you can see, the picture on the left has way better, luscious skin, and that's a picture of a non-smoker's skin. The picture on the right is a picture of a smoker's skin that's wrinkly and definitely has some skin damage to it. Personally, I want my skin to look like the picture on the right, all luscious and beautiful. Smoking also causes damage to your brain. The picture on the left that you see is a picture of a smoker's brain, and the picture on the right is a picture of a non-smoker's brain. Smokers have less brain cells because the smoking kills them, but a non-smoker has way more brain cells. Personally, I don't know how many more brain cells I have left, so I'm definitely not going to use any sort of tobacco products. But smoking also damages a person's hearing. The picture on the right is a picture of somebody who smokes, and they can't hear anything coming out of the megaphone. But the picture on the left shows somebody that can hear perfectly fine, because they don't use any sort of tobacco products. Smoking also harms women that are pregnant. As you can see from the diagram, tobacco use is extremely common in women that are pregnant, and it's about 20 to 30% of all women that are pregnant. Early signs is in the first 2 years that you can notice that these babies were harmed due to smoking. In fact, 1 in 5 people have childhood obesity because their mothers are smoking. Also, babies are born about 1/3 of a pound because of smoking, and that's simply low birth rate. Smoking can also harm your lungs. The picture on the top shows a pair of lungs that are smokers, and the picture on the bottom is lungs that are from a non-smoker. So people out there that play sports, you know that for the health of your lungs, you should not smoke at all, because that'll just make you worse at the sport that you're playing. Now, what diseases can smoking actually cause? So the number one disease that smoking causes is lung cancer. And that's most common, and that's what most people die from smoking. Next one is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is commonly called COPD, and that is mucus in your lungs. Heart disease is when you have heart attacks, strokes, asthma, or diabetes. And if we notice one common thing about the 6 things that are above, is that this is what you're hearing on the news recently about people that are more susceptible from dying from coronavirus. So if there's any time to quit, it's now, because smoking is going to kill you in the long run no matter what. Effects of vapes and e-cigarettes. So low doses of vaping can cause nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and eye irritation. I know that I don't want to experience any of those things because it just doesn't sound very fun. High doses of vaping, though, can cause rapid or irregular heart rate, high blood pressure, seizures, coma, or even death. So we know that we must stop if we are using these products, or help other people from not using these products in the first place. I just explained to everybody about the health effects from using traditional tobacco products or e-cigarettes or vapes. But there's also extreme environmental effects that come from tobacco products. A study in 2015 showed that 1.67 billion pounds of cigarette butts are disposed of each year. Cigarette butts are the most prominently littered item. In 2015, about 12,000 cigarette lighters, 58,000 cigar tips, and 33,000 tobacco packages and wrappers were removed from United States waterways. The Truth Initiative found that cigarettes and cigarette butts comprise of nearly 38% of all collected litter, making them the most commonly littered item on United States roadways. That's crazy to think that that much cigarette waste is disposed on our United States roadways each year. Not only do the actual cigarette butts cause harm to the environment, but so do the chemicals that are inside of them. A study of the effects of roadside litter found that where there are cigarette butts, there's also an increased amount of hydrocarbon levels in the soil. Also, when cigarette butts are found in the ocean, more chemicals seep through, such as nicotine, pesticide residues, and metals, making the ocean toxic for some of the fish that call the ocean its home. The Truth Initiative also found that 1,312,796 pounds of toxic chemicals were reported disposed of or otherwise released from tobacco facilities in 1 year. So not only do the actual cigarette butts cause harm, but so do the chemicals that tobacco facilities release. And it's extremely dangerous to think that they're not even caring about what they're doing. Although we like to hope for the best, that's not always the case. The truth is that most vape pods don't actually make it to the trash can. It's predicted that over 2 million Juul pods are littered each year. When these pods eventually decompose, wherever that may be, the toxic plastic will be put into the Earth's surface. The most likely place that these products will decompose is in the water, which, just as cigarette butts, they release toxins that could kill the ocean wildlife. Now, what can we actually do? And even though this is a major problem, there are a couple of things that we, as the youth of Texas, can do about it. We can host a cigarette butt cleanup. And although this may not seem like a big task, it really is. We can be cleaning up other people's problems and cleaning up the cigarette butts. But we don't have to be cleaning up other people's problems. We can spread the word about how detrimental cigarettes and vapes are to the environment. We can inform people about this, and maybe they'll offer a hand to help, or they'll teach people not to use these products. And that's the next thing that we can do. We can simply teach people to not use these products. Because as a kid, there was this saying that I always listened to. And it's that right here in the United States, we tend to put bandages over the problems without fixing the cause. But by fixing the cause and preventing people to smoke, we won't have to put bandages over the problem. And we won't have to host cigarette butt cleanups anymore. And we'll fulfill our job as the youth of Texas to prevent people from using these products. So, are there any questions that anybody has that we can offer? If there are, you can click the raise hand button and we'll unmute you to answer any of your questions.